Did it come on okay? Okay, so we'll continue. All right, so now you have the reason why you want it. If you have a history of smoking, another good reason. By the way, and you're going to see in your booklet there, if you were or have been a smoker, you are highly systemic, highly systemically inflamed. Understand that. Yes, if you stop, that's absolutely great, but also know that you're probably in a very high level. So, homocysteine, most people are over 15, which predisposes you to what? The big four. These other ones here, when you're systemically, internally rotting or acidic, you're predisposed to, amongst other things, OA, osteoarthritis, which is the one we're trying to stop with what? Subluxation degeneration. Just put the sub under here. Okay? Multiple sclerosis, CA, the other big one, cancer. Okay? Alright, the other one we want to look at, we did tonight, was pH. And the third marker is this stuff called CRP. C, reactive protein. And we want a value of less than 1 or below. Okay, homocysteine, we want to shoot for 8 or below, less than 8. And we talked about the pH values. So we have 3 big markers, plus we go by history, and we've all filled out those little questionnaires. And if you checked off even one, you're on the wrong path as far as systemic inflammation. Even one check on the 12 questions that it has there. Okay, you with me? All right, everybody did it, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And if you did it, please, we'll get you up to speed. All right, we talked about the, here it is, the little intake or survey. All right, we're just going to go over that quickly again. Signs and symptoms, things like I'm overweight. It's hard for me to lose fat or body weight. I can grab too much fat around my waist. How many of us can say that? Okay? And you could be doing a lot of things right, but if you're mentally stressed, chronically mentally stressed, it's going to throw what? You into chronic inflammation. All right? I do not exercise regularly. See, they're all vicious. One leads to another. You usually don't find one without the other. I don't feel well when I do exercise. Or it takes me forever if it's really intense exercise. I'm really tired, I'm fatigued, I'm exhausted from the exercise, and I'm very sore. That's another big one, okay? I'm mentally lethargic and feel run down and depressed more than I would like to be. I look old for my age. Okay? We see that all the time. We talk about this. Say, do you believe so-and-so's X amount of... We don't say who looks younger. The conversation is what? Boy, they're a lot older. And I'm pretty good at guessing ages, but as time goes on, people are looking a lot older than their numbers are. Okay? My skin looks old and sagging. I suffer from some of these symptoms, flu-like symptoms, cold symptoms, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, sinusitis, acne, asthma, digestive conditions, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, cancer, heart disease, insulin resistance or prediabetes or diabetes, hypertension. Boy, oh boy, the list goes on. It's nasty, isn't it? And guess what? It's traced back to chronic systemic inflammation. Dietary factors, ways you can throw off your system. All right, make it more acidic. I regularly take anti-inflammatory or anti-pain medications, things like Tylenol, ibuprofen, aspirin. Some people come in here and are to tell me they're using some of the over-the-counter drugs. If you use them every once in a while, fine. Okay? Try to use them very limited. Every time you take ibuprofen and you take aspirin, you bleed, which for ladies, especially menstruating ladies, is an issue for what? Iron. If you don't have enough iron, it throws off your neurotransmitters. It also throws off your hemoglobin binding capacity, which makes you tired and fatigued. So it's a nasty, vicious cycle, isn't it? All right. I regularly eat partially hydrogenated oils, trans fats. Guys, this is one food you cannot eat ever, is margarine. Ever. It's one bond different than plastic. It's designed to have a shelf life, and it's trans fat, and it lasts for weeks on the shelf. That's why all your cakes have it and cookies. Anything with margarine, trans fats, please. It's absolute poison. And it's one bond different than plastic. It was designed to put on a shelf so it doesn't melt, so it doesn't drip through the bag. You understand? Or the packaging. And look ugly. Alright? So you're eating plastic, basically. Deep fried foods. Do we really have to talk about that at this point in time? Fried foods? Horrendous. The worst possible food you can eat is a potato chip. And what's similar to a potato chip? French fry. It just doesn't have all the preservatives in it that they can stick it in a bag forever. Okay? And you can go look on Volgraph Chiropractic site on March 15th. A year, what's March, April, May, June now. Okay, 15 months. A friend of mine has a Happy Meal on his front desk in his chiropractic office. 15 months old. The first, I think 2 weeks, he put it outside his door because there's some wild cats. They didn't eat it. What's that?
I say it's about time you ate it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but my point is the cats, the wild cats who are hungry, they didn't eat the hamburger. It's a Happy Meal and the fries. And he kept it out there. Unfortunately, right before the 1 year anniversary, a young kid came in, saw the French fries, stole a couple and ate it. There was no mold on them. And he said to him, "Did you eat them?" But he didn't tell him right away. He goes, "How'd they taste?" He goes, "Yeah, they were a little soggy, but they were all right." But my point is, that's not the focus. The focus is they didn't produce mold. And they weren't like rotting. So how's your body going to digest stuff like that? If you don't believe me, and you can see the receipt, it has the date circled, and it's right on he took the tray and all, and he put it right on his desk to get his point across. Please, go on there, look up Volgraph Chiropractic Center, and you'll see it, page back. All right. I regularly eat grain products such as white bread, whole wheat bread, pasta, cereal, pretzels, crackers, and other products made of grains or flours from grains. This includes most desserts and packaged snacks. We just talked about that, right? I regularly eat corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, peanut oil, and foods with mayonnaise, tartar sauce, margarine, and nearly all salad dressings. What are we talking about? We're talking about sugar, aren't we? Let's back up a little bit. Okay? All those are sugars, aren't they? Any of the grains, white flour, they're the biggies, right? So now you're going to eat sugar. That sugar has been GMO'd, and for those of you who don't know GMO, you're going to hear me say it in every class because it's so important you know, because we got to stop it. We're going to ruin all our seeds because they're genetically modified, and the next generations, we're playing badly with our food sources. We could screw it up to where we really foul it up for mankind forever. It's scary. Okay, that's how bad it is. That's why this is up here. That's why about a month ago, me, my 2 kids, and my wife marched in Philly. I'm not a protester, but I went down there, and I went down there for them. It's not about me. It's about them and their kids after. We have a responsibility to leave the world better than we got it. Don't you agree? And we're doing a horrible job, this generation. You tell me one thing that's gotten better. As far as, our food, water, and air. It's not happening. Shame on us. Okay, I regularly drink or eat dairy products in greater than condiment size. Just throw them out. It's this simple. If you're not eating dairy products that are from grass-fed animals or organic, in moderation, you're going to be systemically inflamed. They have to be organic if you're going to eat them. And you want to keep them to a minimum. Okay? Alright. I regularly consume soy or soy products or eat them in place of fruit and vegetables. How many people think tofu is healthy? Most people think tofu is healthy, don't they? Yeah. That was like the 70s we were told that, right? Mm-hmm. What were we told are the 3 healthiest foods back in the 70s? Soy, tofu, eat it. Yogurt was the other one, right? Okay? And we talked about yogurt in the last one. Didn't we say there was 15 teaspoons of sugar in an average? 20 grams of, it was 20 grams of sugar, that's what it was, in a yogurt. We're only supposed to have, ideally, 25 grams per day. So you eat one yogurt in the morning, you just had your sugar content for the whole day. Who only eats one yogurt that's eating yogurt in a day and nothing else that has sugar? Okay? Alright? So, and we were told margarine. That's the other one. Right? We can remember 70s. I can't believe it's not butter. And what was the crock pot one? Remember, some kind of crock barrel. It was a big tub. You could just shovel it out like mad. We used to do it. Right? It always kind of tasted funky, didn't it? Right? But we were told, eat margarine because you want to decrease your fat. Butter was the enemy.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you a picture of Time Magazine within the last year of butter. Eat all you want. They still don't say it has to be organic or from grass-fed. Organic's the best, grass-fed is the second best. Okay? All right. The problem is these oils, let's go back a little bit to the oils. You notice all those oils on there. You don't see coconut. You don't see olive. Okay? And you don't see palm. Palm's very expensive, but it's good for a change. It's better for frying because it has a higher burning point than olive. That's the problem with olive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta be quick. You can't be frying for a long time. All right? And if you have to fry it for a long time, you probably should eat another food, right? Or slice it thinner. You gotta watch it a little better too. All right, I know. We tried it. We do. You know, we're like anybody else. We try different things. All right. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory foods. I have that in there for you. You really only have two options. It's either eat something that's going to be pro-inflammatory or bad for you, or anti-inflammatory. You don't have this? It's a little, help me out with a page number. I might have changed them from yours to mine. No? Okay, I'll get it to you. Hang on. All right, the pro-inflammatory foods, write this down. All grains and grain products. We already went over those. I kind of went over those in the section before, in this one here, right? That's kind of the summation sheet for you. And I'm going to get you this other one too. Okay? It's going to be inflaming versus deflaming. I'll get that to you. Hang on, okay? All right, all grains and grain products. Let's go over this again because it's so important. White bread, whole wheat bread. Okay, here's the big one. How many people think whole wheat bread is healthy? Come on, nobody's going to attack it, right?
No, you mentioned
here's what they've promoted on you, and they've skewed it, right?
Sure.
It's better than white bread, but not much. It's kind of like saying, you know, OxyContin is better than heroin. They're both opiates, and they're both addictive, and they both will kill you. And they both damage your brain, by the way. All right? You with me? Any opiates, because it works on the brain. Where's pain? In the brain, it's perception. But with all that being said, it's better because it has some natural nutrients in it. Versus the white bread that's totally been stripped, then they say, well, it's enriched white bread. Well, when we stripped it, we took all the vitamins out and the fiber that was good for you. So at least the whole wheat is better than that. But wheat is wheat is wheat. It's GMO'd. It's sprayed with glyphosate, our favorite chemical, Roundup. It's a known neurotoxin. It gets into the water system. It goes into the plant. You eat the plant. It stores in your fat cells. The vicious cycle once again. And makes you what? Pro-inflammatory. Do you see how so many things? You're going to see this. It's kind of like this overlaps, and this overlaps, and this overlaps, and this overlaps. And it's just knowing that it's there and how it all fits. And it's a puzzle that's not pretty, is it? It's not a painting that's being painted that's a pretty picture. That's why 6 out of 10 of people, and it's going up, will get a cancer. We gotta do something. Not just for ourselves, but generations behind us. All right? Okay. So, do we need to go through anything from grains, flours, from grains? Most desserts and packaged foods. If you're gonna eat a dessert, things like the coconut that I taught you about, there's a list on their website of about 150 different things you can make. We'll talk more about some nice cheats that are easy, okay, as time goes on. But understand, you'd be surprised what about 5 or 6 nuts will do, and some filtered water, and you chew on them and drink the water down. Fat satisfies sweet cravings, by the way. Keep that in mind, okay? Get yourself all different kinds of nuts. For everything from macadamia to walnuts to almonds. If you eat them raw, they're even better for you. Second best way is roast it. Do not get them ever with oil. Okay? When they're packed in oil and they're greasy when you take them out, don't be buying them from the can, all that other nice stuff.
What are peanuts?
Peanuts are legumes or a bean. And people, here's the problem. 2 reasons why. Okay, peanut allergies were non-existent when you guys were growing up, correct? Did you ever hear of it?
I've never heard of it, no.
Do you want to know why you hear about it today? Kids are systemically inflamed. They eat a peanut, which is a bean. A legume is a fancy word for bean. The bean, an aflatoxin, which is a fancy word for mold, grows on the bean. And it's highly toxic to all of us. And more people are becoming highly reactive because their immune systems are in high gear. They're hypersensitive because the people are chronically inflamed. If you want to take a step further back, they're saying it's the vaccines. You put a foreign chemical into the body's fighting it. Could be for a lifetime, causing the body to be hypersensitive. And a lot of the autoimmune diseases are linked to the vaccines as well. Chronic inflammation. Another vicious overlap in the picture, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway. Okay, partly hydrogenated oils from trans fats. Everybody knows trans fats are bad. Margarine, deep fried, French fries, most packaged goods. Okay, do yourself a favor. Don't, it's like 5 foods I'm going to tell you never to eat. Never eat a potato chip. Never eat a French fry. Hot dog, jelly donut, or all the donuts. Okay, and what other one can we throw in there?
What else is good?
I know. But is it really worth a couple? What's the longest you chew a food? 1 bite. I want you to take notice. Your favorite food. Count how many times you chew it before you swallow it. So what are we talking about? 30 seconds max, 15? To feel crappy for hours or days? If you eat gluten, on the average, most people will take 3 to 4 days to stop responding to it. The inflammation part, right? Chronic inflammation. So there you are, you do real well for 3 days. You eat, you just ruin 3 to 4 days. You do it again halfway in the middle of the week, you just ruined it again. You just threw the whole week away. So this cheat in moderation, you cheat, you pay. You cheat Uncle Sam, you pay, right? You don't get any, but if you learn how to, when you really need that sweet tooth, to reach for certain things, like I just taught you, like macadamia nuts are the highest fat nut, and they'll satisfy you the fastest. And a big nice cold glass of filtered water, you'd be surprised what you can get by in about 4, maybe 6 of them. Almonds are a little smaller, about 6 of those. As a male, you should be eating 6 a day, by the way, and you'll get your prostatic cancer risk down by 50 times. Pretty good deal. They go nice in your salad, get them shredded.
Eat them all the time.
Good. Throw them in your salad, whatever. I throw tons of nuts in our salads. My kids love nuts. Okay? Coconut. Taylor eats coconut. I rub it on her. Organic. It goes right through her skin, goes right in. What's that? They go right into her blood. It's so good for her brain.
He said he loves nuts. I said, no wonder he likes us.
Yeah. We're all hanging the same tree, right? All right, good. We can have some fun here, it's okay.